June 29, 2021. That was the day I decided to go for the Terminator on my just a few months old Iron Man profile. While as laughable the idea was, I had a strategy for it. And this video is to how. If you're seeing this video for the first time, there is a previous one to this. In that video, I started doing Ender Slayers, and then at the end of it is when I set my goals. That video is basically me trying to do an Enderman Slayer tier 2 after countless hours of slaying over 600 tier 1 bosses. Spoiler alert, I did not succeed. So, as I said, I had a couple strategies, one of which I already made, the Crystallized Heart, which could be upgraded to the Revived Heart and afterwards the Reaper Mask. The Revived Heart needed a lot of rotten flesh, so I put down a Remnant minion and upgraded it to tier 3. At the end of it, I upgraded to tier 5 for some other reason. I'll get to that. That was as far as I would go with that because I needed those Remnant pork chops. And that was because I needed those items to upgrade it to Reaper Mask. I knew there was a long way to it, but I also knew that if I wanted to get that item, I needed to do a lot of tier 4 Remnant bosses, and I just didn't have the money for that right then. I also did not have another Netherwort farm and hoe at that time. I got those later though. Couldn't have done anything without those, so that was a must. Anyways, at that time, I started saving for the Dark Auction items. That was going to help me with tier 2, 3, and 4 bosses. There was also dungeon stuff that I had to get, which would help me a lot also, and also costed a lot of money, which I also will talk about later. So it was just not possible nor necessary for me to do Remnant bosses because of the economic reasons at that time. My second strategy to slay a tier 2 was the Mana Flux Power Orb. Mana Flux is not only regenerates your mana super fast and gives you strength, but it also boosts all the healing by 2%. And with that getting stacked with my helmet and everything, I probably would have survived a tier 2. So I got help from a friend and killed some tier 3 and 4 Swen bosses until I got enough levels to use the Mana Flux Power Orb. I had put down a Lapis minion days before I hit Swen level 6, so I had the materials to craft it too. So I did. I was also trying to get Crit 6 book to increase my damage, but that did not happen with bosses. Now, I didn't know if I could deal enough damage to kill a tier 2 boss, or how long that would take me, even if I could survive it. I was trying to think of the stuff I could do to deal more damage. I had Spicy Reforge on my katana, and there were way better reforges for it, like Fabled, but that required me to get Summoning Eyes and dealing enough damage to Dragon and Luck and getting the party. You get my point. As you all know, I have none of those, especially the Luck. So I asked a friend to help me out on some dungeon runs so I could get a Suspicious Vial. That Reforge is as good as Fabled and had a 100% drop rate if I did enough floor 3s, but like in 25 runs, I'm unlucky, but not that unlucky. Okay guys, this is my 25th run and I finally got the Suspicious Vial. My friend here, however, got that Suspicious Vial for the 15th time. I also got a Crit 6 book from Experiments, which I've been trying to get whilst slaying Swens, but I couldn't, so getting it from Experiments also helped. I also got a Sharp 6 book way before this one. I don't remember mentioning this, so yeah, I started doing tier 2s. It was taking over 3 minutes with starting the quest and everything. My first goal to save nulls so I could craft the soul flow engine, which I desperately needed. Meanwhile, I crafted the wolf pet, and as always, my luck intervened and I got an epic one. I had to grind all the stuff all over again. The wolf pet and the soul flow engine was going to decrease the amount of time I spent on slaying one boss. Like with this speed, I wasn't going to get a JUJU until like 2023. So in last episode, I already told you guys that I never properly banned in a dark auction before, and there was items that I needed from it. So I started scouting. There were more than one that I needed, but the priority was the Ender artifact. That thing makes you take less damage from Enderman, like the Enderman pet's ability. And with that coming, I probably could have survived without having to wear a crystallized heart, which was killing my damage. I finally got soul flow engine going. It took way too long because every boss took longer than 3 minutes and dropped approximately 16 null spheres. I needed 128 to craft a null egg, and I needed 6 null eggs for a slow soul flow engine. So talking about crystallized heart, I realized I could go for a full set of final destination for slaying tier 2s, which would help me slay the boss way faster. But not only that, I also could go into place and start killing 750k HP Enderman. So after I crafted my mana flux and got the full final destination set, I grinded enough money to get the Ender artifact. The Ender artifact was usually around 30 million coins. I was still scouting for it, but I didn't have 30 million, but had 25. Somehow I got lucky for the first time in the world and bought it for 25 million coins.
Aldın mı?
Alıyorum galiba. Aldım lan.
Kaçta alıyorsun?
24.520 aldım.
Hayırlı olsun.
One item that helped me a lot at killing a tier 2 boss at first was the ruby power scroll. That was one of my goals, so I crafted a drill so I can get there faster and grinded ruby until I got enough, and then I already had a sugarcane farm, so enchanted paper was literally nothing. And then I applied it on my katana, and with that getting stacked with everything else, the healing boost was enough for me to survive the tier 2 boss. And finally, I was ready. Everything was perfect, and as of course I kept getting better because my sets were fresh and kept getting upgrades from killing Enderman, and occasionally my old set pieces, my bots and my leggings got upgrades too, so I became invincible slaying a tier 2. Can't say the same thing for a tier 3 though. Tried that once, couldn't even go past the barrier, sadly. I didn't always had enough soul flow to slay enough bosses for a JUJU bow, to be honest, and I never would if I wasn't moving out and had to postpone this video for 5 weeks. And I never would if I wasn't moving out of my apartment and had to postpone this video for 5 weeks later. My friend, who also was an Iron Man waiting for me to get a JUJU, already started doing floor 5s, and I was still slaying tier 2s. He was pretty mad at me. Yeah, it was all like, bro, get it over with. Bro, get it over with. I got a remnant sword because it was way too hard to do it with katana. I crafted Revive Heart, and since I didn't need it at that moment, I used it to craft the Reaper Falchion. These stuff are just for the future, you know? Not right now, but for the future. After this point, all I had to do was to kill tier 2 Enderman Slayers and get enough materials to craft the JUJU bow. And soon enough, like in 2 months, I did. Yeah, all the other stuff I talked about happened in a week or two after I posted my first video of this series. Other 2 months, I just tried to find a brief moment to open my computer and do tier 2s. I was also busy with all the other stuff, not gonna lie here, like diamond set and all that. Whenever I opened the computer, I was busy with that. But still, 32 eggs, like man, that's too much. Yeah, I crafted the JUJU bow. I had a lot of minions for the other materials since the beginning, so I had more than enough obsidian and quartz and enchanted string. Yeah, well, this is not the end. As all you know, we are going big. And in next video, I swear, I am going to find a way to do a tier 4. Oh man, I talk way too big.